You step outside the airlock. There's a second of silence, not peace, just silence. Then your brain registers the terrifying truth. You're in the vacuum of space, with no suit, no helmet, no gloves, just you, floating in an environment so hostile that even the concept of air is meaningless. You have about 10 seconds, if you're lucky, before your brain starts shutting down. Let's rewind a bit and explore what actually happens in those few horrifying moments between being a living human and becoming floating space debris. First, forget the Hollywood myth. You won't explode. Your body isn't a balloon, and outer space isn't some kind of evil pump. Your skin and muscles hold you together quite well. Thank you very much. But the lack of pressure does something almost worse. It causes the liquids in your body to start boiling. That includes the saliva in your mouth and the moisture in your eyes. It doesn't feel hot. It just fizzes. Weirdly. You try to take a breath, but wait, there's no air. And trying to inhale in a vacuum is a really bad idea. Even worse, trying to hold your breath. Your lungs are filled with air from the pressurized environment you were just in, and now there's nothing to stop it from expanding. If you clamp your mouth shut, that trapped air can rupture your lung tissue from the inside. So, if you want to survive even for a few seconds, the best move is to exhale immediately. Now you're rapidly losing consciousness. Your blood, though still inside you, is no longer functioning normally. Without external pressure, dissolved gases like nitrogen start forming bubbles in your bloodstream. You're essentially getting the bends, like a deep sea diver rising too fast, but everywhere, all at once. You're swelling too, not cartoonishly but visibly. Your body could double in size within a minute. You're not in pain anymore because your brain is shutting down from oxygen deprivation. You're also probably blind now. Your eyes have begun to dry out and lose pressure. Around 10 to 15 seconds in, your vision narrows. You can't move. Your muscles are paralyzed from hypoxia. You can still hear, sort of, vibrations from your own body, but everything else is silent. Utterly. You're unconscious. Let's say someone grabs your arm and drags you back into the spacecraft at this moment. If they're fast, if they repressurize the chamber and get oxygen back into your lungs within 60 seconds, you might survive. There's even a real-life example. In 1965, during a NASA vacuum chamber test, a technician's suit depressurized. He was unconscious in 12 seconds, but recovered fully after being rescued within 25 seconds. He later said the last thing he remembered was the saliva on his tongue starting to boil. But let's say no one saves you. After 1 minute, your brain cells start to die. There's no oxygen feeding them. Your heart, which has been desperately trying to pump oxygen-depleted blood, begins to slow. There's no oxygen in your muscles. No fuel in your cells. You're clinically dead. And beyond a certain point, around 2 minutes, there's no coming back. Even if your body is somehow returned to pressurized conditions, the damage is permanent. And now we enter the eerie silence of the afterlife. Not heaven or hell, just orbit. Your body is floating through space, perfectly preserved. No oxygen, no bacteria, no weather. You won't decay like you would on Earth. You won't even smell. There's no atmosphere to carry scent. Unless you're near a star, your body will slowly freeze from the inside. But even that takes time, because in a vacuum, heat doesn't transfer quickly. It radiates away, slowly. Your skin might char under the sun's radiation. You might bloat from trapped gases. But for the most part, you'll remain exactly as you were in death, for years, centuries maybe, a drifting human time capsule. So, how long can you survive in space without a suit? Not long. 10 seconds before unconsciousness. 1 minute before irreversible brain damage. 2 minutes before death. That's it. That's the biological limit. You might survive a short exposure, but don't count on it. Space doesn't hate you, but it doesn't care about you either. And that's what makes it so terrifying.